tease him with questions and make sure that you get an answer. You've been so bad. How much have you missed me? So if you're wearing a black bra, make sure that your panty has got to be black. If it's red, everything has got to just flow. Like you're teasing and you're telling him, you know, you've been a bad boy, right? It's a mixture of pleasure and pain. You know what I mean? This body on fire. Okay, so ladies, welcome on board. Today is going to be a little spicy because I've prepared something hot for y'all. I will teach you how to torture your man in bed after he's been a very, very bad boy. Trust me. It will bring the desired result of a good payback. And make sure that you either have a spare room to lock yourself up afterwards or you're not staying over thereafter. Okay? Because it's going to be crazy. You need to give him that desired punishment. Because the pain is in the walking away. You've got to walk away after all said and done. All right? So I will be teaching you how to exude mild toxicity in bed. To switch it up. Be the dominant and make him the submissive. Whether he be an alpha or a beta, okay? But ladies, we could attest to the fact that it's a lot sweeter when you could subdue an alpha and make him a believer. And you know, the funny thing is that you don't have to be the prettiest girl he's been with. But he knows that you just hold the key to his crazy. So let's assume that he's been a bad boy and you both haven't seen in a while, or say you both haven't found a way around meeting in the middle to kind of talk things out and forgive each other, or basically solve the situation at hand, all right? But eventually, you both decide now is the time to make up and move on to the next phase of your relationship or your marriage. And remember, dating never stops. It should never stop when you're married. It should be a conscious activity that you both inculcate in your daily lives if you want to keep the bond stronger, aside other factors that can keep the bond stronger, or that can keep the relationship going stronger, which is prayer and total commitment, to say the least. Now, allow him to reach out to you, okay? Give him the thrill of racing for that cookies. Of course, this comes after you both, are intimately sharing how you've missed each other's company and generally just being in that moment of great lust for each other, because you haven't even seen each other for a while, or maybe you've not spoken to each other and you just miss that communication or that companionship. Now, he may want to rip your clothes off because, if he hasn't been with another woman, he'll be burning hot for you, right? I'm supposing that would be the case. So kiss all you want, passionately, really. Either he takes you to the bed or you take him to the bed by his joystick. You're going to drag him slightly by his joystick to the room. By now, you know how to smoosh a guy, all right, out of his clothes. But make sure to still have your clothes on. He's been a bad boy, so he's not allowed to have the easy way to you, nor does he have the privilege of taking your clothes off. So if he wonders why, just tell him, you are at his service tonight. All he needs to do is nothing, just simply lay back and receive. Let's say you're laying down on the couch or something. You could get him up his feet and hold him by his joystick and then lead him to the bed. Then push him onto the bed. Dim the light. Play really sensual songs like Chris Brown's Body Lightweight. Make sure you have a good playlist and you also have handcuffs. I always love the idea of, incapacitating my man. All right, so ladies, you need to invest in your kinky toys. This thing just basically gives that trajectory feel to the whole sensual experience that you both can bring to the bedroom on a daily, because trust me, just like any other aspect of a monotonous lifestyle, intimacy can get really boring and repetitive And also, parts can get desensitized if we continue on one pattern over and over and over again. Okay, so you need to incorporate other things that are not usually incorporated in your daily love-making routine and foreplay. Okay, anyways, handcuff him to the bedpost if you can, and then walk on his body like I have taught you in previous videos. I don't need to repeat these things. Like, you could tap on a link of whatever video that I'm going to put up right now and learn how to lick his nips. The male nips are very sensitive. Don't joke with it, all right? I probably think it's much more sensitive compared to the women, because not a lot of women actually put in their time in having a lick. So invest your time while you're working on his body. Just take your damn time. Build the intensity of sensation that you're invoking in him, all right? And then slowly walk your way to the very unusual part of this body that you don't normally touch or you ignore, like his sides, the sides here, all right? Remember, you know that the sides are sort of ticklish naturally. So imagine planting kisses and intermittently you're wiggling your tongue alongside that area. Crazy, I tell you. So you could trace or kiss him from the side to the pelvis. This V corner here. Let me stand up. I don't know. This V corner here. So you could trace from here, wiggle your tongue, you could kiss, whatever you need to do, down to the pelvic area, or is it the pelvis or whatever, this V corner, all right? You're not going lower than that. Just walk on it with your tongue and with kisses. Slow, sensual, right? Do you get? See, you've got to realize that your tongue is doing most of the work, all right? But regardless of the fact that your tongue is doing most of the work, your hands should not be idle. So while you're giving him kisses around that area, you could, rub your hands, caress his skin, his laps, his thighs, his inner thighs. They're quite sensitive, all right? So play with his body, and that would give a double sensation. He doesn't know where he's getting that heightened sensation from. Could it be the kisses on his pelvis, or could it be the caresses, down his thighs or his chest? He doesn't know, but he's feeling it, and that could run him mad. All right, so you've got to learn how to multitask so that you can give him all that you've got. You could heighten his emotions. Remember, tonight the goal is not to make him reach his climax, but to heighten it. You could also apply the edging technique. That's if you're going to stroke his joystick with your hands or your mouth. Now, when you know he's about to make a release, like he's about to come, you hold the base of the cap just to stop that release, all right? Just hold the base of the cap just to stop the full release, and stop whatever pleasure that you're giving to him, okay? So that he relaxes, and then you could go back on giving him that pleasure. You could decide to repeat whatever you're doing to him over and over, but make sure that you're careful for him not to come. Remember, he's incapacitated. So what you're doing to him is that you're giving him that mixture of frustration of not being able to finish off, and you're also giving him mad sensation. It's a mixed feeling, right? Some men cannot handle it. They might just scream. So yeah, you have to be technical when you're doing that, and you have to pay great attention to his expression so that you know when he wants to come. Now, you could also decide to turn him over and play with his back. That's another part that we tend to overlook when we're, foreplaying. The back. The back is super sensitive, so take advantage of it. Run your fingers across his back, from top to bottom, or from side to side, whatever pattern you choose. top to bottom, side to side, whatever pattern that you choose to do. And then you could spank his rounded back cheeks, or just give it kisses, you know, from top to bottom to the base. Just give him kisses, but make sure and be certain that he has taken his bath, because you're going to be nasty. You're just going to be nasty on him. And then you can make him stay on all fours position while you milk him from behind. Do you get what I mean by milking him from behind? You milk his joystick from behind, but don't make him release. That's the punishment. He's not going to release. Now that he's incapacitated, tied to the bed, you now have the chance to play with his visual senses. So what you've got to do is that you turn him over, because he's on his back, right? I mean, like he's laying on his tummy, right? Because you're playing with his back. So you turn him over, let him see you in that dim light. If you were on the bed, just leave the bed, walk over so that he could see you, your full glory. And then you start to tease, trip. All right? And please make sure that you're not wearing granny panties or uncoordinated lingerie, like when you wear green bra and orange panties. Please do not do that, all right? So if you're wearing a black bra, make sure that your panty has got to be black. If it's red, everything has got to just flow accordingly. Then when you're strip teasing, you could ask him question. So tell me, how much have you missed me? You're releasing your clothes. I mean, like you're unbuttoning your shirt. How much have you missed me? Do you want all of this? You know, just tease him with questions and make sure that you get an answer. And let your clothes fall over. Or do whatever you please. All right? Do whatever you need to do. Maybe you could still string him along, tease him. And make sure that you've had your bath, you've oiled your skin. You know, there are glow oils that you could use that, you know, it just makes your skin shine through while you're, you know, teasing him with your skin, with your sexy lingerie. You're bringing down your clothes and all of that stuff. He's just getting riled up with what you're doing to him. He's over there. He's just looking at you. He's just over there looking at you. And he wants to touch you, but he cannot because he's restrained to the bed. Do you get what I mean? Like you're teasing and you're telling him, you know, you've been a bad boy, right? You've been so bad. And I want to teach you a lesson tonight. You know what I mean? Girls, you know what I mean. You just bring your sensual aura into the room and you just tell him things that you would love to do to him. You could even move on to the bed and just glide your body through his skin. Let him feel the warmth of your skin on his body. And you could also have feathers and just walking around his body like this. And speak to his ears. Make sure you're in tune with what you're doing. Like I used to say, sex is spiritual. So you have to be a goddess when you're doing all of that thing to him. You know? Like you're the priestess making incantation all over his body. Making chants, touching, invoking goosebumps all over his skin and whatnot. Do you get what I mean? All right? And then you will see the hunger in his eyes. He would beg for you to untie him, but don't do that. What you need to do is just leave his bed, slowly pick up your clothes, put them on, pick whatever else you have, and say your goodbyes. Leave him hanging high and dry. Totally bamboozled by the audacity to get him to this point and giving him a blue balls. Do you get what I mean? You could either stay in another room so that in the morning you could wake up and untie him. Or if you really want to be a really bad biatch, you could just leave. Take a taxi or drive away. Whosoever comes can untie him, all right? Or uncuff him. Do you get? If you're merciful enough, you could untie him after a few hours when he's all exhausted with mixed emotions of anger, despair, disappointment and astonishment and all of that. Okay? So that would be it. And you could improvise if you need to. You could improvise and check out what other toxic punishment you could give to him. I mean, when I mean toxic, not something harmful, but something that touches his soul. Like it's a mixture of pleasure and pain. You know what I mean? Anyways, my ladies, that would be all for today. Thank you so much for being part of this show. Until I come your way again, do have a swell time and make sure to have a blessed relationship. Spice up your home, spice up your bed, spice up your bedroom. Be that peace that you want to receive as a man and as a woman, and love yourself unconditionally. Don't think that there is anyone better out there. All right, no one is perfect, no one is better out there. There are lots of trash out there. So the one that you know is good enough for you, the one that you know that you could accommodate their flaws and their excesses, go on and accommodate and be a better version of yourself, as well as you make them a better version of themselves as they make you as well. Because I mean, like, you have to give and take. It's a give and take type of situation. Anyways, thank you so much. Mwah!